dead and all the wonderful souls here, when I turn this box on right here, it's like a walkie-talkie to you guys. This is going to be your chance to interact with us if you want to. When I turn it on, you just come up and holler at it, and maybe we'll hear you. Maybe we'll be able to interact with you. So if there are any souls here... Say Chris?
That's Chris is what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Who are you?
Hi, Chris.
Billy.
Billy, that was super clear.
Okay. So what happened to Chris?
Is this the party line? What the hell is going on now?
What year is it?
Super weird. What the?
Chris, what year is it?
It said something, but I couldn't make it
Yeah.
out.
Or Billy was over on the line.
That was the woman.
Can you tell me what year it is?
Football.
Football? Football? What's going on?
Is that football?
It said
Yeah,
football.
I think so.
Okay. Oh, Lord Jesus. Are you a football fan? This is weird. It said spirits.
How many spirits are in this house?
So I think it said 6.
Yeah, 6 is what I heard.
Sounds alright.
Weird music.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, there's something.
Yeah.
An ice cream truck in there?
It's a little odd.
There's an ice cream truck.
Can the woman come forward?
Dead. Dead.
Yes, the dead woman. Dead woman, come forward. We just want to make sure your voice is heard, sweetie. We don't want anybody to be left out. So everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a voice.
Music in the background.
That's not usual at all.
That is not normal.
It's like an ice cream truck sounding.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's an ice cream truck.
Let me listen.
It stopped.
Yeah.
What the blank? Are you talking to the dog? Talk to the dog.
What did it say?
I'm not sure, but it said something.
Said Billy again. Who's Billy?
Harry.
Are you from before there was houses here? Did you live here a long time ago? That's interesting.
Something going off?
I should have said I'm doing it.
Oh, and they the thing went to. Was it the 360?
This one, and
Oh, okay.
I saw this one go to 4.8. She saw
one
that
go
one.
Oh wow! Okay.
Oh, the K2's on, okay.
Where'd you go?
And it's still that beep. What is that weird
I'm gonna try to filter it out.
He's driving an ice cream truck.
It's like a whistling.
Yeah, whistling or...
Well, the whistling we've heard before,
But
but
this
not
is a
the.
different tone.
Yeah.
This is totally different.
Haunted. No shit.
Someone else's milk.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
We got a bunch of Canadians on the line here.
Your spirits are very humorous.
Funny, yeah.
They think. Yeah.
Said jokes.
Oh,
It said jokes.
Did it? Okay. You're very amusing, sir. Thanks for having a good time. Can you tell me your first name? Please? My name's Melissa.
Oh, it's female.
And what was your name? We're fighting for it.
Yeah.
It's okay, just one at a time.
And there's that
Is that music
again.
again?
What the heck is that? I've never heard it do that.
I
For
don't
such a
know
long,
either.
I mean, that is the weirdest little weirdness.
Girl. What was here before this house?
The heck?
What was here before?
It's piano. What is it? It reminds me of a metronome, like a piano, like somebody taking piano lessons. That's what that tone reminds me of. Did you play the piano?
It's me.
What? What?
What did people come here to do? He said it.
Now they're getting fancy.
He said, I don't know if you heard it. Drink. Is that correct?
What are you doing drinking? Having a good time?
Bar here?
I think there's a saloon here.
Yeah.
Yes?
I just got goosebumps. Is that correct? What was the name of the establishment here?
That would make sense for a saloon ass music.
Yeah. It's just a guess, but
Drink.
yeah, and we got that.
Is there a honky tonk?
Oh, it'd be a honky tonk. But it said the name, and I couldn't hear it.
I couldn't even get it up.
Could you say that again? It's super important. We can tell your story.
One, two, three.
That's female.
Could you come up really close to this device and yell the name of your bar or saloon? Just yell it for me. Problem is if some of it's residual haunt, they're not going to be able to interact
Yeah.
because we're hearing a replay of them talking about it.
That makes sense.
They're not actually saying it to us, but it's a total
We're hearing a record player.
And that's why
That
we're
makes
getting
sense.
these glimmers and they're not as intelligent. Some of the souls are intelligent,
Yeah, some of them are knowing.
but some of them aren't.
Does anybody remember the name of the saloon that was here?
So it's just at sports, I think.
Sports?
That's an active intelligence.
Yeah.
How does your dad feel about sports? Is he a sporty fella? Does he watch any sports?
When he was younger.
We got football earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking because I thought,
He did love football. He loved the LA Rams.
Oh, okay. So he
And
was
now
a
they're the
football
LA
fan.
Rams again.
Okay.
I just
So,
heard,
yeah.
yep.
did you like the Rams?
Friend of mine playing for the Rams. He's with the Raiders now.
You know everybody.
I worked with the
Yeah.
Yeah. That might have been a delayed response, though. I said the deal right there.
What's your favorite team?
Music.
What the heck is that? Ding, 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 ding.
That's gonna drive me insane. That's what it's gonna do.
It's fucking weird now.
Yeah, it is.
You're being weird, man.
The music.
But the music, the little organ, the organ grinder plays.
Hey.
Hey.
Is it a truck?
That music.
I've never heard it do that. That's so bizarre.
Is there anybody here from the bar or the saloon that was here?
It chapter 2.
Don't you dare be freaking me out. I swear to God, I'll knock you out. Can you tell me anything about yourself?
Is this an... Oh, that's a device.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shh.
Hello?
What happened to Chris and Billy?
Right here! Right here!
Now that is an
That's an intelligent response.
What happened to you guys? We're right here. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Chris and Billy, how did you guys die?
Yeah, how
What happened?
What happened to you when you died? Why did you die?
Fight.
Fight?
Fight.
Fifth fight? This was...
Dad? What is...
What year did you pass away? You on break? Did they laugh at me?
I think so.
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah.
He's dead in their sense.
There's no negative dead here.
There's negative limit.
Yeah. He's
That's even more annoying.
he's absorbing all of it, and he can't process it.
Overload.
That's what's going on. Well, we have...
Is it 4? Right.
What year do you think it is? That was something there.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember.
How?
Hello?
That's what I heard. We can hear you.
Yeah, this thing's on, so. Do you think it's the 18 or 1900s? That was a yes, I think.
Yeah, but 8. Is that 8?
So 1800s?
It's not a positive hit, but that's what I'm feeling. Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
If it was a saloon, they'd have to come this way to go to and from the Sierra Nevada mountains. So saloon would make sense.
Maybe 1880?
Eight. Is that 8 again?
1888?
The K2's going crazy.
When I said 1888.
Yeah.
Can you
I can't even sit on the floor.
can you confirm on here with your voice? In the 1880s? Just a yes or a no will do.
88. Said 88.
88. 1888.
And this was a saloon in 1888.
Yeah, I saw that. They're busy drinking. Oh, that was a delayed yes.
Yeah. Was the whiskey any good? Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Probably put it in your car.
Thank you. Thank you for interacting. I know it's very hard to interact.
I'll make sense of a lot of stuff that you've been feeling.
Yeah. Are you hanging out with the family of hers that's passed? Are you hanging out together? Uh-huh. You guys just having a big old party?
Music stopped.
It's very faint in the background. I can still slightly
Okay.
hear it, but not much. Is everybody okay? Do you need any help?
You say yes?
Couldn't hear. I couldn't tell. Do you need any help? No. Say no.
No.
They're fine.
Now. Scary.
So you don't. So everyone's fine. You just want us to balance out the energy of the home.
Are the horses tied up outside?
I know. What do you want? What would you like me to do? Do you need anything from me at all? Either way, I'm gonna bless the house because now I've talked over the spirit box. Now we're blessing the house. That's happening. That's part of it. Say bless you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd really like to know the
Thank
name
you.
of the. I'd really like to know the name of the saloon. The Well.
Well,
It was the Well. Was that correct? Was it called the Well?
They're contradicting each other.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, that's what I heard was maybe.
There's a lot of contradiction. Yeah, I don't know.
They're like, just tell him anything.
Just we're busy. Just shut up. Is
Well,
what
they're talking over each other.
Yeah.
Like the female too.
There would be almost no record of that or something like that.
Not from back then, no.
It was very
Because this would have been.
Hi.
Jeez. It was very, very ramshackle.
This would have been pretty far out of town. That was just after Sutter's Fort was built.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to go this way to get to the Sierra Nevadas.
Well, thank you for stepping forward. Are there any other souls that need to speak? I know I felt some of her family here. And I might have heard your voice, but I'm not sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Does any of the family have anything to say? I know it's kind of weird, but you can try. I know they're playing with the meters. The light? But I would love to hear your voice, and if you could talk to your family.
Party?
They're having a party.
I think it said party.
This is kind of a party. Yeah. Is her father here? Maybe you want to speak?
We went to 19.5.
Oh wow. And the KT's going out.
So, I mean, sir, so you're the dad. I know you're touching the meters, but I would love to hear your voice. Can you give me a hello or a howdy? All right. Is there anything you want to say to her? There's a low sure.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay, so go ahead. You've got the device here.
Is that fair?
Can you repeat that? We're not sure. Well, I know who you want me to help. I understand that. I know who needs the help. Is that gonna let me go in there and do it though? Can you help him? Are you trying to help him? There's something right there.
Move?
Yeah, help him move. That's a good idea.
That's what I've been saying for a while.
Oh yeah.
Move out.
Wow. When you said move.
You guys have the droids we're looking for. Move along.
Where are you from? Can you tell me where you grew up?
Up. I said up. Up the river?
Without a paddle.
On top?
On top.
Of what? A mountain?
Green. Did you live in the Sierras?
Yeah. We're getting ahead of their heads. So, can you tell me the name of the town? I hate it when it's broken like that. It's so hard.
Greenwood. Greenwood?
Greenwood?
Is there a town called Greenwood somewhere?
Yeah.
That's
quite cool.
that's a historian
really?
thing.
Yeah, there is. Greenwood.
Oh, I did
Okay.
not know that.
Yes, there is.
But I don't know. Did I hear Greenwood?
I heard that too. I just didn't think it was. I didn't know.
1800s.
I didn't know anything about that.
Well, that's cool.
That's really interesting. Thank you. You guys are just weird. But thank you. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for talking. So you're welcome.
Ooh, I think so. Is this where people went to party to get away from Sutter and his men?
Or somewhere.
I didn't get it.
Or did
Thank you.
There's a response there.
Yeah. I do appreciate you interacting. I know how hard this is to change your vibration to communicate through this device. So I honor the fact that you're working so hard to communicate with us. Thank you. If you have any message that you need to get across, anything you need to have heard, this is your opportunity. This is your chance to be. Okay? It said something in the cat's meow. Do you want to let the cat in? Do you hear the cat? Do you like the cat?
Is he in the?
It's not coming from there, is it? That's like,
No,
Yeah, all right, I thought
the
that too
meowing's
first.
not,
No,
but they're talking to the living cat.
Yeah.
And the person said the same thing twice in a row.
It's hard to tell sitting over here.
Do you know the name of the cat?
Is he in the front?
Rachel.
I heard Rachel.
I heard Bishop. They said Bishop.
What is the cat's name? No, the cat out there, not your cat. The cat out there. Do you know the name of the cat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time.
You pig.
Said white. Said that one of the cats white. The cats are white, isn't it?
Not that one.
Ours was black.
What? We do have a black and white one. This
Oh.
is missing.
Oh, he's the one that's missing.
Can you bring the cat home safely, please? Can you go bring the kitty home?
I don't know.
And there's that dang music again.
He's driving an ice cream truck.
Do you have any messages?
That was a whole
Three,
sentence.
yeah.
All the lights.
I heard I have a message.
What is your message? Because we're listening. I know this is hard, so I trust me, I honor that. I understand how hard this is.
We hear you.
Yes. We're really trying to help you out here. So anything you need to convey, now is the time.
At the front door?
Yes, the cat's at the door.
Come on in.
Maybe the dead will talk to the cat. Want to talk to the cat?
Oh, well, we gotta stay here.
Come
Go
on,
out.
kitty, kitty. Are you coming in?
Kitty, 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 kitty.
We're going to be very
It's talking to the
indecisive,
cat.
are we?
Yeah. What's the cat's name? It's Oscar, right?
Oscar's
That's
going to
right.
be indecisive. He says, I'm going to call, but I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah. He's a total prima donna.
Typical cat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a whole lot else to say, we're not going to try to force you into saying anything. We did get some answers out of you, which is great.
It's been real. Yeah, it's been real. Thank you.
But otherwise, we'll let you just be in peace.
Who's the old lady that's making sure everything's nice in the house?
Who's the older woman?
What's her name?
Not here.
Where'd you go? She a shy lady? Can somebody tell me the name of the much older woman? Like, no, I'm not gonna tell you.
What happened to Chris and Billy?
They went and got drunk.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why the garage is so hot? Do you have a reason for that? Does anybody know? What? That's weird.
That was laughter.
Is the garage warm because your stuff is out there?
It did say freezing.
It ain't freezing, bro.
Far from.
Hotter than hell out there.
But that's an interesting validation with the cold spots that we got.
Well, that's true.
True.
And that you heard what I heard.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that we need to do about the temperature besides less?
Timber?
Yes, I'm going to use some Palo Santo out there. Anything else? Do you have any other suggestions?
Is there anything you want? Is there anything you want to say? Because this will probably be the only time that I'll be able to hear you.
Hi.
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 Is that the same dude?
Yeah. She's like, okay, hi.
Who is it?
Who is it?
Yeah, he said, who is it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, we want to know who is.
over here. It's Michelle and Bella, and our friends Melissa, and
The whole damn team.
what does he
What?
call you? Shaggy in the gang.
Yeah.
Scooby in
Pretty
the,
much, yeah.
Scooby in the gang.
Pretty much.
She's Scooby, I'm Shaggy.
So this is it. This is your time.
I know the cat does not have your tongue.
I think you said nice.
Okay, that's That sounded like a residual thing.
Fun.
Fun.
So
Are you
fun.
having fun here?
Water.
Is that what he said?
What is it?
Can you repeat that?
Do you need water?
Are you watering crops? Are we interrupting you?
What do you say?
That's why I
I heard 19. Left.
Go left.
What are you trying to get into the safe?
19 left.
can't. Right? Well,
Trying to rob the
What is
local
this?
watering hole.
What is this? Lonely Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts? Oh man. Sorry. Dylan.
Alright, so
Get a bunch of comedians here.
this is your opportunity to get any message you need to get across. Anything you need to say. And if you don't want to, that's
Air
okay
pressure
too.
change.
Oh, wow.
And
Good.
meter.
And it actually showed the numbers going up too, because I got it on the numbers. It's going up to 6.1 to
I can
6.0.
see it out of sight.
Hello?
What happened? Yeah, it's
It
quiet.
did. It did almost as good.
And we registered a
Like
disturbance in air pressure when that happened.
Really?
Yeah, we showed when that happened, when we lost contact, we showed a disturbance in air pressure. And
There's been a disturbance in the force.
so it's going off, and it's physically going from 6.1 to 6.0. It's registered. They're back. Registering fluctuation. Blind.
Are you guys doing okay?
Brian?
Don't be a Brian. Don't be a Brian.
Don't be a Brian. What? What's your name? The individual that I felt that was related, the male. Can you yell your name out for me? I'm not that close.
Don't get that close to the
Heard
thing.
something.
Yeah.
Heard it.
Ian.
That's a weird dead.
So many dead people. Image, yeah.
You want to do SLS?
He's talking to the camera.
Maybe. Yes, he's documenting our image.
Are you in the hallway? Were you hiding and peeking at
I
Melissa?
was.
It said, yeah. It said, yes.
Well,
So I saw you in the hallway. It was a little weird, you know.
It was. You guys are a bunch of comedians.
Agree with me. I mean, that's nice. I gotta be happy about that.
Yeah, so true. They're very agreeable.
There's nothing negative here, yeah. But there's a lot of residual and a lot of just hanging out.
Just one big party in your
Just
house.
dead folks, yeah. Your house is built on a... Well, so many times we have to tell clients that their house is built on an ancient Indian burial ground. It happens more often than you'd think. Your house is built on an old saloon.
Yeah, and also I'll take it.
Yeah.
Old watering
I'll
hole.
take the validate that.
The well. I wonder if there's any way to look that up. I mean, the creek that runs along a winding creek, and part of Dry Creek did go through here, and that would have taken you to the American River. It was a waterway. And back then, without water, you didn't have much. And it said water.
Water?
You want to get a drink?
Let's have some Baileys.
Yum.
Want a cocktail? I can hear it in your head. You and your George Carlin. I'm the
I
Carlin.
left it alone.
Hey, lady.
I almost...
It's in what?
wasn't partying dead.
They're having the best afterlife ever.
Yeah.
They're just having fun. They're having a good time.
They're probably playing poker too.
Well,
And I honestly think your dad
that
is
goes
just
with the territory.
hanging out with these people. They're just having a good time.
Could be.
Can I get in on a poker game?
We're dead. We don't play cards.
So like, I don't know.
Do you like to ride a Harley?
The deuce.
Like a piece.
Deuce.
Or like cards?
Oh.
Yeah.
Could you say that again? What you just said?
Get back.
I couldn't make that out. Sorry, you gotta work. We're trying to work with you because we want to hear you. We want to value you, but we're having a hard time hearing.
Keep trying.
You're doing a good job.
He's sober.
He's sober.
That's what I heard too.
Who's sober?
Who's
Yes,
sober?
Yes, I'm sober.
He's sober.
He
He's
has
sober.
to be. He's
We're
working. He's working, man.
They're all sober.
We'd love to join your party, but we kind of have a job to do. We're supposed to be helping this family. Is that okay?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. They're helping.
We appreciate you guys communicating with us. And we do want you to understand we will be blessing the home and only... It helps? I said it helps.
It helps, yeah.
Yeah, yes, it will help.
You guys can have your party and you'll be separated from here.
Yeah, the positive energy gets to stay. Anything negative has to go. And we're just going to try to get some balance back for this family. Does that work out for everybody?
Bye now.
Are you done with me?
Bye now?
That was the woman. That was super clear.
Okay, you're
Home. Yeah, there is a home here now, exactly.
So we just want to make this a nice, happy home.
Can you let them have their home back and stay on your side of the veil, please? Okay.
Thank you. So I'm going to let your energy release from this. I don't want to keep you tied up energetically. I appreciate you all interacting. And I want you to understand that nothing is allowed to attach to any of the equipment.
That was very old Western, too. That was like,
Nothing is allowed to touch the investigators.
That's a pretty good yelp, son.
He's like, shut up, y'all. I know what you're saying.
Alright, so,
That's good.
and with that said, you don't attach to any of the residents, the animals, etc., etc., etc. We appreciate your communication.
Yes, thank you.
We want you to have a good afterlife. Thank you so much for interacting. And with that, later?
Yeah.
Later. Session. Good night!
Good night.
The box. It said the box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Dead people. Good night.
This has been a really good one.
Elvis left the building.
Said yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. And
So, this is our first Forgotten Saloon. This is the first.
Yeah, with a bunch of drunken cowboys.
It's
They
good.
really were. They really were.
Have a good time.
They
It's like,
really were.
well,
They were having a lot more
Get to the
fun than
Sierra
I
Nevadas.
expected them to have.
I liked how he yelped you twice.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
That was so old
That
west.
was
Like,
funny. Yelp.
Like,
I mean,
I agree with you. All right, that's fine. I understand. We get it.
that's so how they would talk back from where I'm from in Wyoming. That sounds like it's like the Stepford Wives or something back there. You know, it's like everybody talks like this. You.
They talk like that over there?
They kind of do. Mel,
Wow.
Mel, tell them I'm lying.
No, that's how they sound.
So what was
It's not
happening when
that
this was
Oklahoma,
going
too.
on numbers, but
So-
it was going quietly?
It was registering electromagnetic fields interacting with it.
And then
So-
this was going, what was
Same,
that?
same thing, just different strength and frequency of milligauss.
Okay.
They measure in two different spectrums of milligauss, and one a little bit stronger than the other. And every time those were going off, we were also getting direct responses. So it was very correlated and rather fascinating.
And yeah, and they would both see, because of this thing here, I couldn't really see that. So Bella could see this thing going. I could see that number going high.
Well, when there's like a lot of noise, like they're all trying to speak over each other and like go up a lot.
Yeah, they were like fighting with
Yeah.
they were all having an argument about who was going to talk and do whatever.
No, me first, me first, me
And,
first.
and that happens all the time.
Yeah, they were all
and they're,
getting
like,
kind of
fighting over-
excited
fighting
to
amongst themselves.
interact, and then they got busy and went and got drunk and left us alone.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we got drunk.
they were just
They were
doing their
just
own
waiting
thing.
to be heard.
Yeah, no, there was plenty of them that interacted, and I felt like we got some valid responses. I think
Definitely.
we got some indication that even from some of your dead.
Yeah, for sure.
There was some of that background of them kind of validating a little bit here and there too. But it just seemed like one happy party of some of the memories of the past, some of your
Yeah,
energy,
definitely.
and they just all kind of gelled together, just having a good time.
Yeah.
They're all having fun, which is good. I mean, I like that. That's the kind
That's
of thing
great.
that, you know,
That helps,
that helps overall with the experience. But I think that your problem energetically in the house is less to do with ghosts,
Yeah.
and more to do with living humans.
Correct.
But spiritual issues can still influx in between that and make it feel very off kilter.
Yeah,
But,
because
you know.
I emailed you one time and I said I was way out in the backyard and I could hear her at the door going, "Mom, Mom, Mom," and I'm like, "What? What? What?"
She wasn't home.
No.
That's so creepy.
And
that's so weird.
And that can happen when people have abilities too, or it could be the memory of her harping on you and doing that could have just replayed for some reason, or by
Yeah.
location of her energy.
Yeah,
Because
because she does
the-
that. She'll go to the door. You know how the door, the slider, you can't see in the back, right? She'll open the slider and be like, "Mom, Mom, Mom." So I have to get up and come around and find her. So that's why I'm like, "What? What?" And then I went in. Oh, she was home. I went into her room like an hour later,
Yeah.
and I was like,
You were
"What were you
calling me.
calling me for?" And she's like, "I've been in bed. Like, I wasn't calling you."
That's
And then,
so
like
weird.
a week later, my son, he stomps, do. We're on a raised foundation, so I was out back again. This time I hear do. And I was like, "Oh, Forrest is home." And then I came inside. No one was home. So then
Oh.
I texted the girls, and I was like, "Hey, is Forrest with you?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're all still here." And I was like, "Okay, that's fucking weird."
But didn't something else happen in Savannah too? Like right around that time or something?
Well, no. We both heard like Sophie in the running down the hallway and stuff.
It sounds like you've kind of got a lot of different things sort of happening and a lot of confluence of different layers of energy. Both your energy as living is impacting the space. There's a lot of spiritual energy. It's just a lot of things kind of colliding all together. This is going to be major upkeep and maintenance, but I think once you get it dialed in and you get the humans a little dialed in, I think things will flow so much better. So, yeah.
So can I ask you? So when I first moved in here, sorry, honey, I stepped on your foot. When I first moved in here, I met the family. It had such a great vibe. You could tell they were happiness in here. Happy.
Yeah, no, and it still has a lot of that.
And so I'm wondering where did all that come from? Is that like from the human energy bringing it in, or
As far as the new negativity that shouldn't be here, you mean? Or,
well, yeah.
Yeah, because you remember how I was telling you when in the place that I grew up in, like negativity feeds on negativity. Well, positive energy and happiness works the same exact
Yes.
way. Happiness and the spiritual energy in this place, in and of itself, is very happy. They're having a big old party.
It's a very happy
So if you
environment.
don't have negative living energy in here that's counteracting that, people are gonna feel happy.
And when you have somebody who's feeling a little toxic or negative, they are going to draw in more negative vibrations and or create sentient negative vibrations.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not that it's like not even necessarily like a dead person that's causing the problem.
No.
It's the energy. They could attract negative dead. That's possible. They can draw negative dead in, but I think it's more or less their energy coming out like tendrils and depositing energy. But inherently, he's not a bad kid. He's just got something really not settled. There's an unsettled, like a tropical storm, or it's really unsettled, and
Did she know yet? She hasn't even seen his face.
I mean, it's really upsetting.
I'm wondering if he's seeing some of this energy and just doesn't understand what he's seeing.
Maybe I almost think he's so closed off from it he wouldn't even be able to articulate it. He'd be like, no, that's bullcrap. Like I don't think that he would actually even. It's full, total denial. It's
100%.
it's complete denial.
Okay.
This isn't real. This isn't happening.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Where,
100%.
Which makes him more vulnerable to.
Nope, not seeing this.
To have this cyclical thing going on. He's having issues with himself, and he's having all these problems, and then he's launching the energy out, and then he's haunting himself. But then it becomes overloading, and then now he haunts the rest of the house as a living agent. And then you guys are a little bit sensitive too. So then your energy, the partying dead, and then his energy, and it's all coming together in a soup with the wrong ingredients.
Well, can we just keep the partying dead? And
Yeah, they're
that?
fine. Well,
Good idea.
that part might be up to you. But yes, we can reboot a lot of the energy in the space, and I would love to
Get her
to
done.
get to work on that.
All right. I know she's like, I'm tired.
Well, I want enough energy to be able to fix your house.
No.
So I do want
And
to
you're
focus on
You're
that.
the sweetest person ever.
Aww.
Thank you.
So-
I want to make it better for you.
Yeah.
I mean, at least to the degree that I can.
And you've really
You know.
given me a lot of answers, a lot of validity, and then you've also opened my eyes to whatever else is going on in here.
Yeah.
People hiding down the hallway, people partying, like there's a saloon,
There's a happy energy in this place, and it is a nice home. It's a beautiful home, and it does have a good vibration. It just sometimes, you have like one of these
Tweak.
things that does not belong with the, like the energy. We got to get the energy working together again. We got to get the flow kind of working in tandem together. And so
Life's too
after
short to be
I bless the
miserable.
space, I'll just, be able to continue to help guide you forward, because you're going to definitely need to keep it up.
Yeah.
This is
We gotta
This is
bring him out of
maintenance.
this
Yeah.
funk.
Yeah, you nailed it when you first came in. You said
You
the human. I forget how you worded it.
basically a human agent is the
Human
problem.
agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Living energies.
Living energy can
Hang
be
in
worse
the rear.
sometimes than dead,
Usually.
To be perfectly honest,
Oh, yeah.
the living can be really a mess sometimes.
It is.
So,
And then it's interesting that my dad. I'm pretty sure it's my dad that came through.
I feel like it
Totally
is.
that.
I feel like it
With the
is.
dark hair, with the I used to be clean cut, because he was.
But I swear to God, then he showed me like later on in life, and you're just like, wee. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
no, he had hair out, like his hair was long.
Oh,
He
wow.
had
The handlebar mustache.
handlebar mustache.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see
I felt like the guy that said he was living in the Sierras. I felt like that was him.
I honestly
chill.
see, like, when he's showing me parts of himself, and he's trying to be all tough and cool, and he's doing this, like, hey, and like a little bit of posing almost. But then I I see a little bit of like ink work on him or something.
He's Navy too.
I see a little bit of ink because I have a few tattoos. You can't tell.
That's him. He is
But-
hella tatted.
Was
oh,
he?
wow.
He's a Navy guy.
He's Navy.
Well, I don't know.
He was
Grandpa was
Navy.
in the Navy. He had no tattoos. I mean, not all
He was Navy. He only had a couple. He got the rest of them after.
Afterwards,
Did he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, why do you keep getting tattoos?
Usually when people get in the military, they grow
They're
their
fun.
hair
I mean,
out, they do all
I've got
kinds
8 of them.
weird
You just
shit.
can't see any of them.
Well, back when I was a kid, it wasn't cool.
No.
Right.
Right.
You,
Right.
were, you were an outlaw.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
did that,
yeah.
okay,
You're
yeah.
not my
And God
dude,
forbid you
when
ride
had
Harley,
tats.
because
No.
you're definitely.
Nowadays, it's like normal.
Yeah,
Which-
I always gave him shit about getting it. He came home with like a rose on
Oh,
his
did
thing,
he?
and I was
No.
like, Dad, why did you get another tattoo?
Oh no.
But I was like young. I was like
Yeah.
elementary school or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you saw ink,
Because I was seeing like it looked really artistic. I was like, oh, that's pretty.
Nice sleeves.
I mean, but see, I prefer to keep mine
hidden.
Yes. You know, but he's
No
but he-
face tattoos
but
for you?
No. But he's all proud of it. Like,
No piercings
Hey.
or
Yeah, he liked his
he, was
tattoo.
very, he seemed very proud of this. So
He was proud.
I
of his
thought I would
tattoos.
acknowledge it since he showed it to me. So
Cool.
yeah. But I'm glad that you got a lot of the validation that you were looking for, and just to know that you're not bonkers.
Yeah,
This is real. The
right.
stuff you're feeling is
Especially
real.
with that.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I honestly wouldn't worry as much about the paranormal activity, but even the stuff like the smudging and the blessings, that still helps with human energy and clearing out human energy.
It's
Like
super
when he
good
goes
for.
to work and stuff, you need to just roto-rooter this space
Yeah.
at least once a week.
Yeah.
I do
Just-
it every day for a
Well,
while.
yeah, maybe for a little. It's often that works for you, that it works with your schedule, his schedule, whenever he's not around, that kind of thing. And just so you can wipe off the spiritual energy that he's
It'll
leaving.
help take some of the edge off of him. Too.
Yeah, it might
Because if he comes
eventually help
home
him.
to a better space, a better, energetic space that
Yeah.
he's holding himself up
Yeah, I
into.
need that one.
But things take time, so you just have to have patience.
What about? Do you have any comment on the garage door being open? And then I didn't tell anybody else about this, but for maybe a week, I open the windows and I have the screen on the slider. I have that closed, but for a week, I would wake up and the screen door would be wide open, just open.
Letting in the flies, for goodness
Oh,
sake.
do you remember that time also that the door was open in your room?
Yeah.
And Sophie ran out and she was like barking at something.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I think that so two schools of thought in this. One, you have a lot of dead in your house, and they're probably all just bonking around and leaving doors open like a bunch of ding dongs. So there's that. And trying to get your attention. Your dad is trying to get your attention about
that's
son.
probably what it was.
So he's trying to be, doing all of that kind of stuff. And then psychokinetic energy, because it's sort of poltergeisty, can pop open doors too. So his energy could actually be effing with the doors.
Could do a lot, especially.
And it's hard to say every single instance could have a different trigger. Some of them could be trying to get your attention. Depending on when they happen and what you're thinking about or how you're feeling at the time of when you then notice it, it literally could
Well,
just
when
be
I
that-
wake up in the morning, I'll be like, why was the door open all night?
then that's probably the psychokinetic energy. Because if you're having a thought about oh, I'm thinking about this relative or this and this and that, and all of a sudden you have something open, you're like, oh, okay, maybe they're communicating.
Yeah.
But if it's just random ass times that have no cohesion, then it's probably happening because
Okay. That's pretty.
So yeah, cranky pants needs
Pretty
to be
significant.
uncrankied.
Yeah,
But some of
it's-
it occasionally could be some of these partying dead just busting through the place and forgetting.
Yeah,
to
they
shut
could
the
be
doors.
just falling down and
All right. Just staggering
They literally
around.
are still having a
or
party in this
fighting.
house.
They
Yeah.
could be fighting.
So
Which is so weird.
it's
It is
very weird.
I want to
And
find
then
out.
the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was-
I
The
love it.
music
the
was
song
And that
is
sounded,
Brit.
and it sounded old timey.
It sounded
Yes.
like honky tonk kind of.
Yeah.
It was
Or
like
it sounded
even-
like a
like a
a
saloon,
piano.
like
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
the old
a
piano
saloon
players, yeah.
piano thing.
Honky
yeah,
tonk.
saloon
Yeah.
piano
Honky tonk
brothel type of
Honky tonk
thing.
piano.
They were having a good old
They had those in
time.
the saloons.
Well, yeah, you always had a.
There are some special ladies. We won't deal with those ones.
Yeah, I was gonna leave that part alone. They're having all kinds of parties.
There. So we're just going to fix all of it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna make it so you feel a little bit more relaxed
Especially the
and
garage
comfortable
when-
in your. Oh yeah, we're gotta bless
Yeah,
the
especially
garage.
Dad said gotta fix something in the garage. We never figured out
We're
what that was.
gonna
yet.
try to fix as much of it as we can.
It's
We
a,
shouldn't worry about like the spirits or anything.
There's no spirit here that wants to harm you.
Not at all. Not at all.
and we're gonna sort of reinforce the veil so they kind of like this, like I said,
Bless you.
bless you.
What I
They'll stay on their
love
side of the veil. You guys stay on your side of the veil, and and
That's
just
the part that worries me the most.
I know.
Is that he's
Yeah.
gonna create something
for
so
sure.
strong that it's gonna become.
Gonna harm?
It's going. Once a psychokinetic manifestation becomes so strong, it can really cause havoc. So
Yeah,
I want to try to tamp that down now with what we're gonna do and try to prevent that from becoming like a big ordeal. Which is why I'm telling you until he moves out and spreads his wings.
Earmuffs real quick. Earmuffs.
You're gonna
It's
have.
just like this button.
Well, we're gonna have to kind of work that out until he launches on his own. Maintenance will be key until that point because otherwise, if you don't keep up with the maintenance, he could create an entity in this home that is
You
actually
don't want
detrimental.
that. That's not fair to
It could
anybody.
manifest something.
I'm concerned it's a possibility, which is why we'll hit it hard today, and then you can hit it hard for as long as you need to until you get the space
Just
back.
take everything out of the room and light it on fire.
Pretty
Start
much.
from scratch.
Well,
You might clutch
so
All right.
let's get her
So
done.
you're
let's get her done. Switch spaces with you.
Yes, please. And only light is permitted to dwell here from this day forward.
Life is too short. Way too short to be living
Oh, that's pretty.
It's a lot less haunty than the other painting.
Right? Oh, it's really pretty. And no harmful or negative energy will be permitted in this home. And only love can dwell freely in this space. So I want this home to be restored as a place of love, energy balance, light, and healing.
It goes everywhere. It goes everywhere.
A little extra.
Yeah, a lot of extra for him. Yeah.
Find ways to
And you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know what you're doing.
go like
Holy moly.
where's the sharp here with these
Any energy that does not belong, please feel free to leave. You do not need to affect the energy or the temperature of this room. I know your stuff is out here. And if you're loving and protecting, you can stay. Everything else, it's time to move along and mosey on down the road, kids. It's okay. Holy crap. Well, I gotta tell you, I take my smudging very, very seriously.
Yeah.
Very seriously. And it could be rather potent.
It's hot as shit in there.
It is, but we hit it really, really, really thick and really hard out there.
It should simmer down.
and got it all wafted up in the rafters and everything. So
Hopefully it'll be much cooler.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, we can't guarantee that, but we
I
hope.
can't necessarily guarantee that because there could be a million different causes.
I know,
Yeah.
But I did chip a layer off.
That would be kind of cool.
It would be a total trip. It would,
right?
hot like that.
But between the holy water, the smudge, and I did a little energy seal with you, you know, it's something I'll see.
Now, I usually take this and I usually deposit it at the threshold of the driveway. As sort of an energetic barrier.
We'll show this
And then
one.
she has to say the words.
No, I don't.
I actually,
Oh shit, cat.
Oh shit, cat. Mama.
You have to stay.
Mama.
Kitty's out.
You're gonna have so much video to go through. I thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah. So interesting. Everything is going on.
Just, for good measure.
Roll in the garage?
That's not,
Paraffin.
that's
That's
not
not-
dark like that.
No.
Did
Did you funk his door?
I saw our
Good. Good.
That's
That'll
helpful.
help stop it from leaking.
Yeah, I just want to keep it from leaking out.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we're just gonna go through the history really quick to
Yeah,
kind of
little
maybe
mini
validate a
history.
little bit of what we saw. And this is from the S.P.I.R.I.T Historical Society. We sort of got a saloon on the spirit box, and they're just kind of having a big old party. And so we just sort of just replaced the veil, so that hopefully that will bother you a little bit less now. This is from the S.P.I.R.I.T Historical Society, citruscites.net. And they gave us the date of 1888. So here's this area's history from that time period. The Central Pacific Railroad in 1864, the County Board of Supervisors approved a petition by local farmers to provide an access road from Old Auburn Road to the eastern part of the district, which has since been known as Greenback Lane. That's why it's named Greenback Lane. It's on the back. Kind of interesting. In January 1863, ground was broken for the Central Pacific Railroad, and a year later the railroad passed through the central township of what became Sylvan. The completion of the railroad through the area brought an influx of settlers and increased exportation of agricultural crops, not cops, by local farmers. Continued migration of settlers to the area led to the need for a second grammar school, the San Juan School, south of Winding Way. In the 1860s and the 1870s, a gentleman named Cornelius Donahue settled in this area. Donahue established a ranch near Citrus Heights in 1863, and then expanded it in 1872 to include land that went all the way to what is now the Sunrise Mall and Bridgehead shopping centers. Peter Van Maren, an early settler who was a leading agriculturalist in the region, maintained a vast estate of nearly 1,000 acres by 1875. In 1910, the quiet pastoral life of rural Sylvan District underwent a marked change when the real estate firm Trainer and Desmond bought up large tracts of idle land and subdivided them into 10-acre lots. You kind of know that. You kind of know the rest of the history from there. It became Citrus Heights. It became Citrus Heights.
So does that seem to the timeline when we're thinking 1880s?
It works perfectly.
It makes sense.
In 1888, this was one of the largest ranches in the area. It was in over 1,000 acres, and it was a ranch in the tiny town of Sylvan, which we have a picture of.
There's also a street called Sylvan Way. And
There is actually. The tiny town of Sylvan was founded around a church and a school, so they're not going to want people drinking and partying it up around a church and a school. The saloon would have been on a private ranch where people could go away from the townsfolks and away from their wives and kids and drink it up on the saloon on private ranch land. It makes it perfect sense.
Yeah.
According to our spirit box session, it was a temporary saloon called the Well, and it was probably on Donahue's ranch.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's Sylvan, and the land beyond Sylvan is all that ranch land, and somewhere in there was a little Caddyshack saloon, and your house happens to be sitting on it. So there you go.
How do you feel? That'll be our round.
Yeah, seriously.
Short and sweet. How do you guys feel?
I feel great.
Good.
I was actually really nervous about the meeting because I was like, oh my god, I set this up in January, and oh my god, today's the day. And it seemed like forever, and
It's been a while.
and you guys are just as awesome in personness
Thank
you
you.
come through on the
Awesome.
radio
Well,
that,
thank you.
that I've heard, and so
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And
I'm so glad.
one of the things I told you is don't work yourself too hard.
Yeah, no, you've told me that, and I agree. And yes, I got really advantageous and excited. You know, I'm gonna help everybody
We're
this
gonna
year,
help them all.
and we still are doing that even into next year. But
I know.
now I have purposefully carved
Good.
out time
Good.
to reboot, so we can actually really
too.
do a service both
Yes.
to ourselves and others, and
Yes.
and make
Burnout
this
is bad.
make this a healing. The experience you had tonight, all the light, the healing, the love.
Yes.
We want to continue giving that to
Yes.
as many wonderful clients as possible, including you guys. So I'm glad that you got what you needed.
Yeah, definitely. It was eye-opening.
Yeah, we had some interesting moments for sure.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. It really, really
The
was.
music.
That's the
That was a
Excellent.
trip.
Yeah,
That was a first.
that was.
And we definitely want to hear the update, you know, feel free to
Yeah, keep us posted.
feel free to contact
I
us.
know it's gonna be some work for you, but
I appreciate what you.
Aww.
just keep working on it. You got this.
I appreciate what you do. I know it's not easy.
Part of being an empathic and physical medium,
Yeah.
I just get to feel stuff.
Not always great.